Very good evening. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satya Nason. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this evening. "15 years since Sirasa Department complex attack. Attackers still roaming free. Religious harmony is crucial for economic development, says President. Dayasiri Jayasekara embarks on a new political journey. Dr. Chama Sanjeeva joins the SAB, takes up post of Vice Chairman of AntiCorruption Force. Automated facial recognition system to identify criminals at BIA. Operation Yuktiya nets 1,133 more suspects. Sri Lanka Zimbabwe ODI series kicks off as Lanka posts stellar century.
දැන් සිරස ආයතන නැති කරන්න බලන්නේ. ඒත් ඒක නැති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ පහන නිවන්න බැරි වුණා. ඒ පහන ආරක්ෂා කරන්න රටේ අපි සියලු දෙනාම කැප වෙන්න ඕනේ.
Speaking from the smoldering ruins of the Sirasa Media Network's Department complex 15 years ago, then opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe delivered a poignant pledge to safeguard democracy. January 6, 2024 marks the 15th anniversary of the violent attack on the Sirasa Media Network's Department complex, an event that remains a significant stain on Sri Lanka's media landscape and democratic history.
In the heart of a democratic nation, where the right to information and expression pulsates like a vital heartbeat, a chilling darkness descended on this day in 2009. An attempt was made to crack down on the people's right to know with armed thugs and bombs. It was the 6th of January 2009 and at precisely 2:10 am, the tranquility of the Sirasa Media Network's Department complex was shattered by the chilling sight of an armed mob. Brandishing firearms and fueled by malice, they stormed the building, their intent clear, to silence the voice of the truth. Within minutes, the state-of-the-art broadcasting facility, then the best in the whole of South Asia, lay in ruins, ravaged by bombs and brute force. Swords and clubs, instruments of barbarity, danced a massacre ballet amidst shattered dreams. 3 television channels and 5 radio stations, arteries of critical thought and public discourse, were targeted for complete eradication. The fleeing assailants had left behind a chilling calling card, a Claymore bomb ready with deadly shrapnel and a stark reminder of the lengths they were willing to go to silence the truth. But the Sirasa family, forged in the crucible of journalistic integrity, refused to succumb. Within hours, they rose from the ashes, their spirit undimmed by the physical devastation. The airwaves buzzed back to life, a testament to the unyielding power of truth and the indomitable spirit of a free press.
MTV-MBC studio complex in Panama was attacked by an armed...
Archives footage in the Newsfirst library have for over a decade preserved the comments made at the time by those in power 15 years later, where commitments were made to protect democracy amidst the smoldering wreckage of the Department complex.
දැන් සිරස ආයතන නැති කරන්න බලන්නේ. ඒත් ඒක නැති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ පහන නිවන්න බැරි වුණා. ඒ පහන ආරක්ෂා කරන්න රටේ අපි සියලු දෙනාම කැප වෙන්න ඕනේ.
Lasantha Wickrematunge, a fellow journalist and the champion of truth, fell victim to the same forces of darkness just 2 days later. 15 years have passed, and the perpetrators of this heinous acts The brute attack on the Sirasa Department complex and the killing of the late Lasantha Vikramatunga remain shrouded in mystery. The quest for justice remains elusive, a poignant reminder of the vulnerability of those who dare to speak truth to power. The fight for freedom of expression has moved to a new battleground, where documents and legal arguments are the weapons of choice. Who truly benefits when the people's right to know, to speak, and to hold opinions are restricted? It benefits those who thrive in the shadows and wielding power for their own gain against the people. Should we allow these fundamental rights to be eroded, inch by inch, until the very essence of our democracy is compromised for the sake of a few? In the face of any challenge, the MTV-MBC Media Network stands resolute as a champion of the people and for the people's basic right to information, opinion, and expression. The MTV Media Network champions these rights not for its own sake, but for the betterment and the future well-being of the people. News means freedom. Freedom for you, the people, to be informed and to be aware. Freedom for you, the people, to hold a government accountable. Freedom for you, the people, to demand your rights are protected. Media freedom isn't about broadcast companies, TV channels, radio channels, or online platforms. It is about you, the people, your rights, and our future as a nation. As the world moves towards strong and vibrant democracies, it will be a crying shame if Sri Lanka falls backwards into becoming a nation that represses the freedom of its people. Finally, this must be said. On the 6th of January 2009, that is 15 years ago, someone powerful tried to silence Sirasa. But what actually happened? Think about it. It goes to prove one truth. The power of the people is more powerful than the people in power.
Newsfirst with the people.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe underscored the significance of religious harmony for economic development.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe underscored the significance of religious harmony for economic development during a meeting with all religious leaders of the Northern Province at the Jaffna District Secretariat this morning.
So far, discussions have focused on the post-war situation. We are working on resolving those issues. The remaining hurdles, particularly concerning missing persons and providing houses, demand decisive action. By 2025, we will collectively bring closure to these pressing matters. We cannot afford to remain entangled in the past while other religions move forward. This is the North's moment to seize the potential and embark on a transformative journey. In this, I seek the unwavering support of all religious leaders. Let us shed the divisive garments of religion, bias, and racial prejudice. The path forward lies in fostering religious unity within Jaffna. The government pledges to tackle the issues of co-wills and mosques in war-affected areas. We will rebuild those damaged and beyond that, stand ready to collaborate with Hindu priests and the trustees of Nallur Temple in erecting a magnificent new temple in Jaffna. But the final decision rests with you, the religious leaders. Governor, I urge you to convene a forum with all faith leaders across the north, fostering dialogue and charting a path towards this shared vision. Jaffna's future lies not only in healing, but also in progress. We envision a vibrant educational hub empowered by a new policy allowing anyone to establish universities, embrace best practices and expertise, be it local or international, to establish these centers of learning. Let Jaffna also become a tech hub, spearheading advancements in artificial intelligence. Your active participation is crucial. This is not my vision alone, but a blueprint for the future. From next year, job creation becomes paramount. Failing to do so will only fuel further unrest.
Views were expressed on the President's visit to the north.
When I went to meet the president, I asked for justice. We have been fighting for justice for 13 to 14 years. This is not the president who was elected by the people's mandate. He has the ability to hear out our issues. That is why we want to meet the president. But he is choosing to stay in his office and impose court orders to stop our protest. He is now visiting the northern province in an effort to convince the international community that all is well in the north.
A vibrant cultural festival celebrating Thai Pongal kicked off today in Trincomalee, organized by the Eastern Province Governor's Office.
Thrilling tradition took centre stage in Trincomalee today as the Eastern Province Governor's Office hosted a Jallikattu event to celebrate Thai Pongal. This traditional Indian sport, also known as man vs beast or bull taming, saw 250 bulls grace the arena in Sampur, showcasing strength and agility amidst cheers from the jubilant crowd. Malaysian MP Saravanan Murugan, South Indian actor Durai Rajnanda and State Minister Sadai Sivan Vyalendran joined the celebrations, lending their support to this vibrant cultural exchange. Eastern Province Governor Sendil Tondaman emphasized the importance of preserving and celebrating diverse traditions.
On the vision of His Excellency Ranil Wickremesinghe, the President of Sri Lanka, we are preserving the rights and also promoting all religions in Sri Lanka. We had a very big Christmas festival here. Same way we also had a very big Pongal festival now. We also have a plan of having a very big Ramzan festival as well as a Poya Vesak festival. So in that way Pongal, Jallikattu is also a part of Pongal which always been watched by TV which happens in Tamil Nadu. But today with the technical support of Jallikattu Padhikappu Nala Sangam and the people of Sampur, we initiated the event and it was a grand successful event. 300 bulls participated as well as 200 bull tamers participated. It was a very interesting event. It was inaugurated here by the Malaysian Honorable MP, Mr. Saravanan, and actor from Tamil Nadu, Mr. Nanda, and all the Member of Parliaments and ministers of this area participated, and it was a grand event which we started with.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that the SJB's anti-corruption force will track down and recover misappropriated public funds for the benefit of the Sri Lankan people.
How is the Samagijana Balawege preparing for the upcoming presidential election? President of the Doctors Trade Union Alliance on Medical and Civil Rights, Dr. Chamal Sanjeeva, was appointed as the new vice chairman of the SJB anti-corruption force today.
Chamal Sanjeeva Matituma Rajesh Sevake.
Chamal Sanjeeva was a state sector worker. He lost his job because he revealed the theft, fraud and corruption of the health sector to the country. Today, the anti-corruption force of the Samagijana Balawege is the strongest public civil movement involved in the country's anti-corruption programs. If there is corruption, regardless of their designation, we will act as one force to expose them and to bring them before the law. We will recover the stolen funds and return them to the people.
හොරකම් කරපු අරමුදල් සහ දේපල අපේ රටේ ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් නැවතත් වරක් ලබා ගන්නට අපි පක්ෂයක් හැටියට බලවේගයක් හැටියට කටයුතු කරනවා.
I think this platform is an inspiration for the other political parties of this country. This will very clearly be a transformational change in the 2024-2025 election process. We will continue to work with the professional and the civil movements of this country. After that, the future progress of this country's health system and policy making will be responsible to the people and will set the country in the right place. Today, this will be such a formation under the Samagijana Balawege.
දේශපාලන යාන්ත්‍රණයක් නිර්මාණය කිරීම සඳහා මතන සමගිජන බලවේග ආණ්ඩුවක් යටතේ බිවීම සම්බන්ධ සලකුණු අද නිර්මාණය කරනවා.
Dayasiri Jayasekara's National Movement for Idea Politics has forged an alliance with 18 other parties for the upcoming elections.
We are yet to decide on who we will side with, but we reached a unanimous decision on the new policy we will follow. This policy framework was decided after discussions held with the parties. We will hold further discussions in the future as well. We will work on our plan ahead of the presidential election. If they're ready for it, we can do so.
අපි විශේෂයෙන් ජනාධිපතිවරණ ක්‍රියාවලිය නම් ඉස්සරහට එන්නේ ඒකෙදි කොහොමද අපි සහයෝගය දෙන්නේ ශක්තිය දෙන්නේ කියලා.
ඌවම ජාතික ජනබලවේගය සමගත් ඔබතුමාලා සාකච්ඡා කරනවා.
ඉතින් ඔවුන් සූදානම් නම් ඒ සාකච්ඡාව කරන්න. ඒකටත් අපේ සියලු දෙනාම එකට එකතු වෙලා කතා කරන්න කැමතියි.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඉන්න පක්ෂය සමග සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ නැද්ද ඔබතුමා?
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයද?
We aren't aware of it. He will contest the election. We can hold discussions with him. We won't take sides. We are up for open discussions about the future of our country.
මේ හම්බඩු ගහිලා නැහැ අපි අරයාගේද මෙයාගේද කියලා. අපි විවෘත විදියට සාකච්ඡා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඉදිරි අනාගතය සම්බන්ධව.
ඔය වෙන්න ජනාධිපතිලා කිසි කෙනෙකුට 150ක් මේ වෙනතුරු.
These people who are desiring to hold the office of president are living in delusion. Therefore, the alliance is a certainty. We have been in alliances since 2005. That is why they win. We are holding discussions this time around as well. And if they are successful, we will extend our support. And if not, we will nominate the most suitable candidate from our alliance for the election.
ඉත සුදුසු කෙනා දයශ්‍රී ජයසේකර මහත්තයා තමයි.
ඉතින් අපි පක්ෂයේ තීන්දුවක් ගත්තොත් එතුමා තමයි.
Presidential candidate and leader of the Jathika Janabalawegaya Anurukumara Disanayaka addressed the Gambha District Conference of the retired Triforces today.
One party in this political arena is focused on cleaning up the country. That is what they started on the 1st of January. But we in the JJB, we will work towards rallying the people together to successfully conclude this endeavor. The need of citizen and the need of the ruler are two different things. Where did these leaders build this economy? All they did was destroy it. The vital decision we have to make in 2024 is whether we are going to let matters continue the way they are or will we put a stop to this destruction. The previous opinion among the people were that the NPP will be unable to form a government. But now it has changed to NPP can obtain office but won't be able to sustain it. According to the constitution, presidential elections must be held in September. The general election must be held in October. Now they are thinking which among the two will be the most beneficial for the NPP. They think it will be better to hold general elections first. Thereafter they decide otherwise and say it is better to first hold the presidential polls. These days we hear various rumors like parliament will be dissolved tonight. Then again there are other rumors if the parliament is dissolved we will lose grip of the presidential elections. Now they are on the fence. Ranil Wickremesinghe will have to choose whether he will first hold the general elections and go home or will he wait till the presidential election and then go home. Either way, he will lose his post. Ranil Wickremesinghe only sees this crisis through data. We know and this crisis not only through data, but we also see the pain and burden suffered by millions of people across the country.
මේ අර්බුදය අපේ රටේ ලක්ෂ සංඛ්‍යාත ජනතාවක් ජීවිත ඇතුලේ විඳින විදිය අපි දන්නවා.
Members of the SJB expressed views on the upcoming presidential election following an event held in Mamanella.
The UNP General Secretary said that Ranil Wickremesinghe will be their presidential candidate. On the same day, Namal said that SLPP has not chosen a presidential candidate. But MP Dhammika Pereira said that he is the presidential candidate. This government can't even decide on its presidential candidate. Our presidential candidate is Sajith Premadasa. There is no competition here. The local community nor the international community have faith in this corrupt government. Only that trust is built, we can stabilize this economy. I would like to remind you that only the SJB and Sajith Premadasa is capable of doing so. 1,133 suspects were arrested during Operation Yuktiya during the 24-hour window ending at 12:30 a.m. today. Police said that further investigations will be conducted on 54 suspects based on existing detention orders. Investigations concerning illegal assets have been initiated against 23 suspects. According to the police, 38 suspects arrested during the operation have been directed to rehabilitation centers. The operation also led to the arrest of 86 suspects listed by the Police Narcotics Bureau and the Special Bureau.
An automated facial recognition system has been installed at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake to identify those potentially involved in criminal activities. This was in line with Operation Yuktiya. This project was launched by the Criminal Investigation Department, Information Technology Division and the Crime Records Division of the Police. The system will be operated by the Sri Lanka Police.
Around 42 mass murderers have fled the country and are hiding in foreign countries. Around 1,092 people have been identified as organized criminals. We have created a database entering the relevant data in the CID. Today we created a link between the database in the CID and the surveillance system in the airport. This system has the ability to identify any person leaving or entering the country when they come into contact with the camera. Our officers will find everything within 24 to 48 hours, but that is of no use as by that time the relevant criminals have left the country. Sometimes they have left via sea. The CID, along with our IT division, worked towards building this and inaugurating this data system today. That decision was taken based on the foundation that we will not let criminals roam free in this country. We do sometimes face certain legal barriers and issues arising because of certain individuals. We will not yield to see any challenges and will see success in this mission. I have informed the IGP and the police that a complete nationwide revamp should take place by the end of June. My aim is to create a visible change within the next 6 months.
මගේ අරමුණ තමයි මාස 6ක් යනකොට සෑම කෙනෙකුටම මේ රටේ ජීවත් වෙන පේන්න ඕනේ ලොකු වෙනසක්.
Stickers containing the police emergency hotline were pasted on around 100 three-wheelers in the Maradana police division today.
සාධාරණ ජීවත් වෙන ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලනුත් ඒ සමාජයට අපිට දාගත්තා.
මේ ආරම්භයේ සිට මේ දක්වා අපිට පේනවා මේ බල පොලිස් මරදාන පොලිස් බර ප්‍රදේශයේ ඒකේ විශාල අඩුවක් අපිට දකින්න තියෙනවා.
වෙනසක් වෙලා තියෙනවා කියලා අපිට තේරෙනවා පොඩ යන හැමතැන් වලම
මේක ඇවිල්ලා හොඳ ගමනක් මේක. අපි මේකට පුළුවන් තරම් සහයෝගයක් දෙන්න ඕන.
The island-wide vehicle inspection, which was launched in line with Operation Yuktiya, continues. A vehicle inspection was carried out today along the Colombo-Avissavela main road by the police and the police STF. 6 suspects were arrested for the possession of drugs and 11 suspects were arrested over suspicion of involvement in drug rackets. Police said that over 1,500 vehicles were searched on the first day. Buses and long-distance vehicles were also searched today.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka has issued a statement demanding an end to arbitrary arrests, police brutality and extrajudicial killings, urging authorities to uphold due process and restore public trust in the justice system.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka has expressed a deep concern over a recent rise in arbitrary arrests, police raids without proper warrants and extrajudicial killings. In a statement, the BASL underscored the importance of due process and the rule of law, urging authorities to promptly rectify these issues and restore public trust in the justice system. The statement said, quote, "The police raids, including the demolition of property carried out without valid search warrants and or valid search orders, whilst flagrantly violating established legal protocols, render them unlawful. Such actions not only undermine the bedrock principles of justice, but also erode public confidence in the integrity of law enforcement agencies." Unquote. The statement strongly condemns the prospect of extrajudicial killings, emphasizing that even convicted criminals have a right to due process and a life as per Article 13(4) of the Sri Lankan Constitution. The Bar Association also noted a disturbing trend of arbitrary arrests without a proper investigation or legal procedure. The BASL expressed a deep concern over recent statements by the Public Security Minister implicating certain lawyers as conspirators with drug offenders. The association highlights the need for police accountability and transparency in legal proceedings. Unchecked impunity creates an environment where no individual feels secure, regardless of their involvement. The statement stressed the importance of steadfastly upholding the rule of law and due process for building a just and equitable society for all Sri Lankans.
Amidst rising VAT concerns and discontent with government's economic policies, a group of representatives from various civil organizations gathered at the Sinigama Devalaya to observe religious rituals.
Representatives of the National Consumer Front, National Federation of Construction Workers Unions, Low Country Landowners Association and various democratic organizations joined the religious rituals.
Cement is the most basic raw material in the construction industry. He said that the price of cement will not increase, but with the current situation, we are unsure of the prices. Agriculture was the only sector that brought in profits to the country. We have lost the thriving markets of tea and cinnamon as well. Now, after the distribution of substandard fertilizer, the tea industry is now on the brink unless the government intervenes. The price of goods are high. We gathered here against the black market mafia. When the prices of Indian bee onions are increasing, we have stocked bee onions in Sri Lanka. But our consumers find bee onions which are priced at 160 to 170 rupees, at 550 to 600 rupees. The innocent people of the country have to suffer today because of the sugar and onion scams that continued for a few years.
The Frontline Socialist Party expressed views on the government's decisions that affect the people of the country. He expressed his views at a press conference held today.
While
the people of the country can't afford food, while the hospitals are short of medicines, schools are collecting funds from parents to settle electricity bills, and the country is experiencing an economic crisis as a whole, Ranil Wickremesinghe has decided to spend 125 million rupees a week and 500 million rupees a month in sending military support to protect Israeli ships in the Red Sea. He must get his mental health checked. Countries like France and Spain, who are members of the NATO, said that they will not get involved in this matter. Even Australia rejected it. And during a time when countries are rejecting to involve in the Red Sea matter, but Sri Lanka spends money to give military support to America by spending 125 million rupees per week.
නාවික හමුදා බටයන්ගේ සහ නෞකා කාර්ය මණ්ඩලයේ ජීවිතත් අවදානමි දාගෙන ලෝක යුද්ධයක් වීමට ඉඩ තියෙන ගැටුමකට හොට දාන්න ගිහිල්ලා ලංකාවේ ලක්ෂ 220ක් ජනතාවගේ ජීවිතත් අවදානමි දාගෙන නාඩගමක් නටනවා.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara has directed a letter to the chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board to suspend and launch disciplinary action against the workers who recently held a strike, obstructing the supply of electricity, which is an essential service.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara has directed a letter to the chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board to suspend and launch disciplinary action against the workers who recently held a strike, obstructing the supply of electricity, which is an essential service. According to the letter, the CEB workers' strike from the 3rd to the 5th of January resulted in causing inconveniences to the public. Complaints were also filed that payment counters were shut down due to this strike. Minister Kanchana highlighted that these incidents were reported while all services related to the supply of electricity were declared essential via an extraordinary gazette. The letter also added that the CB administration had cancelled the leave of all workers on the 2nd of January. Against such a backdrop, the workers went on strike without reporting to work. Accordingly, the minister instructed the CB chairman to inform the Minister of Power and Energy of such employees, suspend them and launch disciplinary action against them.
News First with the people.
With harmony soaring after almost a decade, the Marianne Singers reunion, The Way We Were, swept Colombo off its feet last night.
The Marianne Singers reunion, The Way We Were, swept Colombo off its feet last night. After a decade, the Marianne Singers reunite in a spectacular gala event. The iconic original group, joined by nearly 100 voices, gather from across the globe to kick off 2024 with a bang. The Way We Were promised a journey through their beloved shows, featuring their renowned choral classics alongside Cinemagic, Hollywood's best music, a dazzling showcase of cinematic magic. The reunion witnessed the return of their legendary Dream Team musicians, with many famous local artists joining the stage to bring this event to a colorful night.
Yeah, in fact, Marianne, I was 13 years old when I joined Marianne Singers. So I'm come here to see her and to meet her after 30 years. I live in Canada, but it was awesome. It was great to hear all the old stuff come out again.
So it was one of the best shows like in recent times, and Auntie Marianne, she was my first teacher. And I'm so glad that I came here today. I could make some time to come see Auntie Marianne and the rest of the Marianne Singers. That was absolutely fantastic, top-notch, 10 out of 10. We'll love to come tomorrow and see it again. So yeah.
Brought back a lot of memories, and I think it was a fabulous show. I don't know how they got all these people doing this. Some of them are abroad. That's what I heard. So I think it was a lovely experience.
It was amazing, and it was really nice to come back. It's something that was very much in our past, and a lot of people from our past, we used to see them on stage, so it was really amazing job, fantastic.
The Lionel Wendt Theatre hosts a reunion fueled by nostalgia, talent and an unyielding love for music.
Shifting your attention to international news, the U.S. Supreme Court agreed to hear Donald Trump's appeal of a ruling by Colorado's highest court that would keep him off the presidential primary ballot in the western state.
The U.S. Supreme Court has said it will hear a historic case to determine if Donald Trump can run for president. The justices agreed to take up Trump's appeal against a decision by Colorado to remove him from the 2024 ballot in their state. The case will be heard in February and the ruling will apply nationwide. Lawsuits in a number of states are seeking to disqualify Trump, arguing that he engaged in insurrection during the U.S. Capitol riot 3 years ago. The legal challenges hinge on whether a Civil War-era constitutional amendment renders Trump ineligible to stand as a candidate.
Aditya L1, the inaugural mission by the Indian Space Research Organization aimed at solar study, successfully reached its designated orbit today.
India's first solar observation mission has reached its final destination. On Saturday, Aditya L1 reached the spot in space from where it will be able to continuously watch the sun. The spacecraft has been traveling towards the sun for 4 months since liftoff on the 2nd of September 2023. Space agency ISRO launched it just days after India made history by becoming the first to land near the moon's south pole. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the mission was a landmark and an extraordinary feat. Posting on X, formerly known as Twitter, Modi said, quote, "It is a testament of the relentless dedication of our scientists in realizing among the most complex and intricate space missions," end quote. India's first space-based mission to study the solar system's biggest object is named after Surya, the Hindu god of the sun, who is also known as Aditya. L1 stands for Lagrange Point 1, the exact place between the sun and earth where the spacecraft has now reached.
The first of the 3-match ODI series between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe was called off today due to rain. Zimbabwe for 12-2 when the match was called off. Sri Lanka's full-time captain Kusal Mendis won the toss and decided to bat first in the first game of the series. Sri Lanka posted 273 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in their allotted 50 overs. Sri Lanka's newly appointed vice-captain was the star of the show as he registered his 3rd century. His 101 runs came off in 95 deliveries, with 5 fours and 4 sixers. Cricket fans can watch the series live on TV1, the official local broadcast rights holder of the tournament. From that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1. For details of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanis, and you take care and good night.